Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Myths, Legends, and Truths. I'm your host, Ari, and I'm here to tell you about Halloween, the origin. It's a holiday that many people love to celebrate, including myself. It's one of my favorite holidays, one of my favorite times, and just so many people don't truly know the origin of Halloween and how this came about. So I'm here to talk to you about that. So we all know that Halloween is on October 31st, and it's also known as All Hallows Eve. Now, the belief is that on this day, the veil between the spiritual world and our world is the thinnest. So it's easier for these spirits to be seen, be heard, be more active in our world, and for us to be, I guess, connected easier with the spiritual world. But the creepy part about it is that many believe that all the restless and evil spirits, that's the day that they are able to take revenge on the living. So that was the belief, that all these evil spirits and ghosts and, goblins and witches and anything else you can think of, were in our world, in our time, for us to be able to be seen, or us to see them, and for them to potentially cause us harm. So many people, in order to protect themselves from this, started wearing masks and dressing up. So there's your origin. There's how dressing up on Halloween started. It was to blend in with the evil spirits in hopes that they would just bypass you, not pay you any mind, and not, torment you. So, you have your traditional costumes like witches and ghosts, to try to keep them at bay, not, our modern day costumes of like superheroes or princesses. So, Halloween, October 31st, All Hallows Eve. It's the day before All Hallows or All Saints Day, which is on November 1st. And then that's followed by All Souls Day. So these are particularly holy days for many Christians. And what they do on these days is that they pray for the loved ones that have passed, and the families will visit the graves of the loved ones. So within those couple of days, again, the veil is at its thinnest. You have the one day where it is believed that all those evil spirits are out there trying to hurt people. And then it's followed by 2 holy days where, the families are taking advantage of the thin veil and trying to communicate with their loved ones, in hope that they can hear them, so that they know that they're still thought of, and that they're loved, and to pray for their spirits, for their souls. So that's gotta be creepy in itself, just on Halloween, wandering spirits around, spirits trying to come after you or hurt you, vengeful spirits. So yeah, you blend in and you do the best that you can. And now other things that came about, like traditions involving food, like bobbing for apples, and carving the pumpkins to make jack-o'-lanterns. So the carving of the pumpkins and putting the light inside to make it light up again was another way to try to protect yourself, from these evil spirits. So, by putting one in front of your house, on your porch or in your window, you were basically hoping that the spirits that were coming up to your door, trying to come into your house, would be scared away by the jack-o'-lantern, and just, bypass you altogether. The bobbing of the apples and the pumpkin carvings are also part of autumn festivals that, took place in northern countries, because it is very much an autumn festival. So those are the other fun traditions involving the food, the apples, the pumpkins, even the dressing up and trick-or-treating. Of course, all these have roots in other places. And many countries pretty much had the same idea. So I think here we're kind of harnessing that and just incorporating a lot of those traditions, into one. So, it's fun, harmless fun on Halloween. Spooky nature. So now I might not be pronouncing this right, but Samhain, there's an ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which was about the same time as Halloween. So basically this festival that was close to Halloween, marked the end of the lighter half of the year and the beginning of the darker half of the year. So, and with us, we have the times change, and, we have of course, like I said, the times change. It gets darker earlier. So I'm wondering if that's what they mean by the darker half of the year. So this was definitely a festival of the harvest. And it is also believed that the Samhain was the start of the new year for the ancient Celtic societies. So there were some rituals that were developed over the centuries. Of course, like Halloween, like a lot of these festivals and traditions, they just evolve over time. So moving on to the part that many people like, trick-or-treating. Going around house to house, collecting candies. Some people over time, instead of giving out candies, will give out little trinkets and toys, little prizes. Other people might give, some vegetables or an apple. It's your choice. I think a lot of kids will be I would have been disappointed, handed some vegetables on Halloween, but they started doing this, of course, for just to provide alternatives to children that maybe had a disease, maybe like diabetes, and couldn't have sugar. And so here's a healthy substitute that you can have. You can still take part in the fun of going from house to house, knocking on the doors, dressing up, showing off your costume. So, of course, this has been a popular, long-standing tradition in the United States, and in the recent years, it's been adopted in the UK and other countries as well. So you have your trick or treat. You either give me a treat or you're gonna get a nasty trick. Throwing eggs at the house, or toilet paper, things like that. Now I think it's more of a tradition. It's just the phrase, trick or treat, nothing meant by it. But you do have some people, of course, that, act on it truly. If you don't have any candy, they'll egg your house. Of course, that still happens a lot. But the trick-or-treating, it seems to be a combination of two ancient traditions. The Scottish custom of guising, and that's where, the kids are wearing costumes, and then the Northern English mischief night. And that was usually in early November, and that's when the kids were playing all kinds of practical jokes. So the trick-or-treating is pretty much a combination of those two. Now here are some Halloween superstitions. So some of these are pretty interesting. I've never heard of this one until recently, but this one it says that you must go out on Halloween and carry some salt and bread with you. So the bread meaning like holy bread, and the salt basically to keep the evil spirits, and the witches at bay. So the next one, some of the other ones are never go on a trip, start a journey or anything after sunset on Halloween. This one I've heard. I didn't know that it was associated so much with Halloween, but this one's kind of funky too, and I would love to hear any stories from anyone who this really worked for. But if you're an eligible young woman and you're wanting to know who you're gonna marry on Halloween, you should sit in front of a mirror holding a candle, either combing your hair or eating an apple. And supposedly, while you're sitting there staring into the mirror, you should be able to see your future husband looking over your shoulder. Now, I never tried this one. I don't know anyone who has. This one I also heard, if you put your clothes on inside out and you walk backwards, you'll meet a witch. On Halloween, of course. The other one is if you see a spider on Halloween, it could be the ghost of someone you used to know who's currently watching over you. And the last one I have here is if you carry a candle from 11 till midnight. So basically, this one here is to find out whether you're safe or not. In other words, if the flame burns out, then you must beware of evil influences throughout the winter. But if the flame burns steadily throughout that hour from 11 to midnight, you're going to be safe for the rest of the season. So if any of you have tried any of these or know anything about these superstitions, I'd love to hear from you. And I think, again, it's one of my favorite holidays. I love dressing up. I love going to the Halloween parties, going to the haunted houses, carving the pumpkins, decorating my house. It's just, I've always enjoyed it as a kid, and I think I'll continue to enjoy it as I get old. Now, similarly, like moving on from the Halloween and kind of going back to the All Saints Day, I know a lot of you are familiar with Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. It's a ongoing tradition in Mexico. Again, it's been going on for centuries. And this festival is a way to remember the dead ancestors and respect the dead ancestors. So it used to take place in August, but after the arrival of the Spaniards, who were Catholics, the festival was moved to coincide with All Saints Day on November 1st. So those, they do take place on the same day, and it's similar traditions. I think All Saints Day, I think Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, I think it's heavily celebrated. You'll see, I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of the pictures and the parades, videos of the parades. And so what they do differently. Again, they pray just like the Christians do on All Saints Day. They pray for their loved ones that have passed. But in Mexico, they build these very detailed altars in their houses, in memory of their dead, of the dead ones that have passed, their loved ones. They also decorate the grave sites of their families with all sorts of things that they used to enjoy when they were alive. Sometimes they would even put their favorite food, photographs, toys, if they were children, anything that they loved, that they enjoyed while they were alive. So the idea was that it is, sort of an offering for them. They know the veil is at its thinnest. It's more likely that they would be heard on those days rather than other days. And so they're taking that chance to communicate and to show their love for their family member or friend or loved one that has passed. So by offering them all these things, they're trying to coax them also into returning to the family for a small reunion. So that's a day where, again, the veil is thin and they're hoping to reunite with the loved ones that have passed and maybe spend a little bit of time on that day once a year. So I think that's interesting, and I love that tradition. I love how they celebrate it, all the colors and the decorations and everything, all the effort that they put into it, and at the end of the day, the meaning of it, what it means to some of those families. It's nice, it's interesting to believe that you have, a loved one that has passed and you miss them, but that idea that you still get to connect with them once a year, that's priceless. And I'm sure it's very important to a lot of people. But I'd love to hear from you. Let us know if there's any other shows or anything that you would like for us to do. If you have any comments or questions about this podcast, definitely put it in the comment sections. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can, for sure. Of course, if you want to share anything, I would love to hear any of your experiences, any of your stories. We would love to hear from you for sure. So don't forget to like our podcast, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.